That vision, that book, that podcast, that YouTube, whatever God told you to do, you're on assignment. You have to move. Hey you guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shadia Johnson, and today we're going to be doing something a little different, okay? I know I've been bringing you all into my life. I've been talking about business. We've been talking about my husband, my relationship, vlogs, gardening, all this cool stuff. But I can't possibly keep on going on with this YouTube channel without talking about the most important person to me in my life, and that is Jesus. That is his word, y'all. I have to read my Bible every single day. I can't live without God. I cannot. I literally, ever since I got saved and I got a relationship with God, my life completely changed. And he has given me a love that I've never known, and I can't live my life without him. So I want to share this sacred part of who I am and the real part of who I am with you all. So we're going to be in the book of Matthew, and I'm going to start Matthew 15, verse 25. It reads, "Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. They said, 'It's a ghost,' and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, 'Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid.' 'Lord, if it is you,' Peter replied, 'tell me to come to you on the water.' Jesus said, 'Come.' Then Peter got out of the boat, walked on water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink. Then cried out, 'Lord, save me.' Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. 'You of little faith,' he said, 'why did you doubt?' And when they climbed back into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were on the boat worshiped him, saying, 'Truly, you are the Son of God.'" Y'all, just reading that is enough, all right? The word literally speaks for itself. But seriously, let's talk about Peter for a second. Now, Peter was one of Jesus' road dogs. Like, in the beginning, Peter was out here cutting off people's ears. Peter doubted God in the beginning, but then we see how his faith continues to grow. And then later on in the Bible, Jesus literally built the church off of Peter. Now, this shows a lot of his faith, because he said, "Who is that?" Like, he's like, "Who is that? Is this a ghost? Who is it? And Lord, if it is you, tell me to walk on this water." He tested. He was like, listen, that was a test of his faith. Like, tell me to walk on this water. Now, we're not going to sit here and act like walking on water is a normal thing. Like, water is not concrete. Literally, they're in an ocean. This is deep, deep, deep sea. So for Jesus to do that, it just shows that he is the Almighty. But Peter was able to walk on the water. He was able to walk on the water because he was focused on Jesus. He could have decided to stay in his comfort zone and stay in a boat with the other disciples. Now, the only downfall is when he began to see the wind, then he got distracted and he began to sink. That just reminds me of a horse, right? Now, I've seen this before. My husband worked with horses, but horses in a race, they wear blinders, right? And in order for them to race, they have to have these blinders on that stop them from seeing left and right. They can't look left and right. They can't compare themselves to the person that's running next to them, okay? Because they will crash out, hurt themselves, and game over, right? So that's the same in our lives. Like, God told you to start the business. You started it. You posted on Instagram, you posted on TikTok, you posted on YouTube, you put up the podcast, you started to write the book, okay? You started the content, and then after you didn't get the likes that you wanted, after people didn't validate you the way you wanted to, after you didn't make 100K in the first few months, after you didn't go viral, you stopped. That was a distraction. That was a distraction. And y'all, what the enemy wants most is to distract you. Literally, God will give you a dream and he will tell you to start the business. He will tell you to date. He will tell you that you are healed. What he wants to do is make you feel that, yes, you got this vision, you started, but now it's taking too long. He wants to rush God's process, but it's called a process. You have to go through a process because there's some development that God is doing when you're waiting on the promise. Now, when Peter saw the wind, y'all, truthfully, the text says that it was already windy. They were in a storm. So when he was on a boat, there was wind. Now, when he got to walking on water, there's wind. And then when they got back in the boat, the wind stopped. So that meant that the wind came, the distractions came to knock him off. The distractions come to knock you off. The distractions come to knock me off. But it's nothing that God can't help us through, okay? Now, one thing I can say is that Peter was bold, okay? He walked on that water. And the reason why he was able to walk on that water is because he stayed focused on God. The key is to stay focused. Stay focused. Remember why you are doing this. Now, for me, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's things that God has called me to do, and I can't personally do it for myself. I can do it for Jesus though, because I just want to be obedient. So if Jesus says, hey, I want you to start coaching people, I want you to start posting on YouTube, I want you to create content, I can do it for him because he told me to. But personally, I was okay with just being a hairstylist. I was like, this is great. I mean, I got my clients, I'm living life. I don't really have to do this. Like, I don't have to do much. I'm happy, I'm content. But when God calls you to do something, it's his will. He's creating a purpose in you. It's people that's attached to what he wants you to do. So we have to be more aggressive about doing the things that God calls us to do, right? And when these distractions come, you have to remember that it's the reason why the enemy is trying to distract you. It's because there's some purpose behind that. And we can't take it lightly. Like, one of my favorite scriptures is, like a city on a hill, you cannot be hidden. One of the biggest problems I have had in my life is hiding who I truly am, hiding my gift, hiding my light, hiding everything. And now I understand that me hiding myself, that was not just harming me, but that's harming every other person that sees themselves in me, every other person that's inspired by me, or any person that God wants to see the light and my light can shine it and I'm able to touch them, because we are the hands and feet of Jesus. So sometimes you are the closest and maybe the only representative of Jesus that people will see. So you have to go forward in that business. So you have to treat people right. So you have to have good customer service, and you can't give up. And it doesn't matter if you went viral. Don't do things to go viral. Do things because you're being obedient to God. Do things because it's a part of your purpose. Do it because it's going to make you feel good about showing up for you. You show up for everybody else. It's time to show up for you. Now, he got off the boat. He focused on Jesus. Then he sunk when he got distracted. I just want to tell somebody that it's okay if you sunk. It's okay if you felt overwhelmed. It's okay if you feel burnt out. It's okay if for a minute you took a break and you felt like, dang, I let go. It's okay. God will meet you exactly where you are. His strength is perfect in your weakness. But this time, you got to reach your hand out. You have to say, Lord, save me. Because just like the text says, Jesus immediately, he reached his hand out and he saved him. You have to ask God for help. You can't do God's purpose and the things that he told you to do without him. You need his help. And if you are sinking, don't beat yourself up about it. That's a part of the game. You're not taking any L's. The only L that you're taking is lessons. You're learning from your mistakes. There's no failures here. But you have to be humble enough to say, Jesus, I need your help in this thing. No matter what it is, if it's a diagnosis, I need your help in this thing. I know you told me that I was healed, but this thing looks a little scary. This thing, I've never seen nobody else be healed like this. I don't see any signs or symptoms that I am healed, but you told me that I am healed. So Lord, I trust you. Help me, Lord. Lead the way. Give me a word. Keep me in your presence. I'ma pray. I'ma trust you. Lord, you told me to start the business, but I don't have any clients. God, I need help to keep going. Give me ideas, a fresh creativity. Bring people into my life to help me, to inspire me. I need your help, Lord. You have to reach your hand out because we can't do this thing on our own. This is not our thing. It's literally, I was just saying to my friend, I was like, Lord, we are on this earth, but literally we are kingdom citizens. If you are a child of God, you are a kingdom citizen, meaning God literally tells you things from heaven and you're here on earth and you're on assignment. That vision, that book, that podcast, that YouTube, whatever God told you to do, you're on assignment. You have to move. You have to. And don't get distracted by what everybody else is doing. I hear people say all the time, well, everybody is a hairstylist. I think the industry is too saturated for me. Where do I fit in? Girl, let me tell you something. I know how it feels because I've been there. But there are billions, trillions of people on this earth. It's people that only want to come to you. Everybody need their hair done. And it's some people that's going to specialize in sewing. Some people going to specialize in wigs. Some people going to specialize in braids, locks, all these different things. Like, you have room here. You have room. And not only that, if God told you to start the business, he's going to bring you the clientele. He's going to bring you the support. He's going to bring you the resources. I think when I read this text, it just showed me how dependent we have to be on God, how focused we have to be on God. We can't get out of the boat and walk out on faith and be like, yeah. And then it'd be like, oh, shoot. No, stay focused. Stay focused on Jesus. Jesus is a good shepherd. Let him lead and guide you. Okay, so we discussed that. He got out of the boat, out of his comfort zone, okay? He walked on the water. He sunk. Now the last thing is, Jesus got him up out of that water and saved him. And they began to walk back to the boat. So even if things have happened in your life or you just don't feel as confident as you was before, understand that God will pick you up out of this thing. He will pick you out of that depression. He'll pick you up out of that anxiety. He'll pick you up out of that hurt. He'll pick you up out of the rejection. He'll pick you up out of not having a job. He'll pick you up out of the failed business plan. And he will walk with you. Now, y'all, when they got back to the boat, the other disciples said, truly, you are the Son of God. Now, this is where you can't be afraid of messing up, y'all. You can't be afraid of messing up. You can't be too wrapped up in looking perfect. You got to start whatever God has told you to start. Do whatever God has told you to do again. Pick it back up. And you can look crazy. You can look like you don't know what you're doing. It's okay for you to be trying on the spot. That is you being authentic, because people are watching you and somebody is going to say, look at God. Truly, that is the God of Shadia. Truly, that is the God of Sally. Truly, that is the God of insert your name. Because people need to see you trying. They're watching your journey. And you don't have to look perfect. It's going to be somebody on there that's struggling with anxiety, depression, messing up, low self-esteem, whatever it is, who's struggling with their business. And they saw you get up and try. And because you got up and tried, they're going to get up and try. So y'all, I just want to encourage y'all to keep going. Don't give up. Stay focused on Jesus. Whatever God has called you to do, do it. Be all that he's called you to be. Let your light shine. Forget the past. Let it go. You are a new creature. You are made new. And most of all, God is with you. You cannot fail. You can't. It's no way. It's all lessons. So you guys, I hope that this word was encouraging and it helped you in some kind of way. Leave comments. If you have any questions, I am here to support. And if anybody needs prayer, go ahead and click on my Instagram. It is SheSlayed by Shadia _ and DM me. I would love to pray for you. I got you. I love y'all, and I will see y'all in the next video.